ability on a phone while you're in a vehicle. They're playing all these different things. And when you get a vehicle, that it disables your texting on the phone. They haven't perfected it because right now it's shutting off 911 or 911. And they don't want that to be taken away from you. But it's such a concern that they're really looking at what can we do? How can we stop the folks from doing it? No fault and at fault. Did you folks cover that in your auto? South Dakota is, they have no fault state means if you're in an accident, it does not matter who's at fault, your insurance company pays for it. South Dakota is an at fault state. If I have an accident, I'm at fault, my company pays for it. No fault, there's not very many states that do it, but there's a few of them that says, hey, we can hold medical claims in check if we do that. It's not. There's so much fraud. There's over $50 million worth of auto no-fault fraud when they do that. So, South Dakota is an at-fault state. Just out of curiosity, where do you think the most expensive state to insure vehicles at? I've got the top 10 in California, believe it or not, it's not even in the top 10, which surprised me. District of Columbia is the most. On average, they pay $1,128 every 6 months for auto insurance, on average. Taking these same numbers, New Jersey is number 2, Louisiana 3, New York, Delaware, Florida, Rhode Island, Connecticut, Nevada, and Maryland. The least expensive state to buy automobile insurance is North Dakota, and we're the next. Now, I don't know what the oil field is starting to be a real concern now about the trucking industry. Because what they're doing in the oil fields is every company is grabbing anybody that's upright, throwing them in a truck and saying, go to work. And there's companies that will not even insure trucking companies up in the oil fields just because of it. What do you think determines the price of your automobile? Yeah, there's a variety of things. I got 8 different. Hand those back and see where we end up. Oh, super. This is 3 here. Got any extras? Are they all? Good. Where did you get one of those? Super. Thank you. Let's take a look at what determines the price of my auto insurance. Obviously, driving record. You got a crappy driving record, you're going to pay more. DUI will double, if not triple, your auto insurance for 3 to 5 years. And that's sometimes people get DUI and they'll come to us and we'll have to file what they call an SR-22 through the state, meaning, yeah, they've got insurance. And a lot of times they'll just lower their liability limits down to the state minimum because they can't afford it. How much you use your car? Where your car, obviously we look at where your car is parked at, what state you're in determines what you pay, your age, your gender. Men used to be a lot more expensive to insure than women. Young men, adults, 16 to 25-year-old males. But now with texting, it's really starting to get closer. Women are now starting to be just as expensive as men. The car you drive obviously determines what you're how much you're gonna pay. Your credit is a big one. Every insurance company now does what they call credit rating, credit score. If you have bad credit, folks, it's been proven over and over again that you're going to file more claims. Whatever the reason, primarily one of them is fraud. If you got bad credit, you can't afford your car and it's going to be taken away, you know, those vehicles disappear. All of a sudden they're stolen. They get an accident, staged accident. People with lower credit typically have more accidents. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. It does happen. So credit's vital. Credit is absolutely vital. What do you think the worst food is to have while you're driving?
Sloppy sandwich.
Sloppy sandwich, what was it? Sloppy Joe? Tacos?
French fries are kind of hard to eat.
Tacos actually number 3. Sloppy Joe's is number 4. I'm going to put that under barbecue foods. The number 1 thing is coffee. You know, they track all, when you have an accident, they hone down, they want to know why you had an accident. Coffee is the number 1 top food offenders. There was one individual, and I was going to print this off, I don't remember, it was out east somewhere. He was in so many accidents with food that he actually had a court order from his insurance company say, if we're going to insure you, you cannot have food in your car. I don't know how they're going to make that stick. I don't know if they did make it stick, but it was bad enough.
What was number 2?
Hot soup. You know, they drink it like coffee.
Like a blizzard.
So yeah, you think you got a spoon and, you know, you got your cell phone here and you got your knee up here and you got the spoon. And
Light a cigarette.
well, it's a cigarette, then you got to wave at somebody. No, because you're sipping your soup like coffee. Number 3 was tacos. Number 4 is chili. You know, evidently that drips, and you know, it drips on your clothes, and you're going to work, whatever. It's a mess. Hamburgers, because they're so greasy. Then it's barbecue food. Fried chicken, because it leaves your hands so greasy. Jelly, cream-filled donuts is number 8. Soft drinks is number 9, and chocolate is number 10. Yeah. I think that's a travesty. Can't have chocolate on there, but yeah, you know, chocolate, it gets, you know. I had a blizzard yesterday coming back from Yankton. What happened? I was eating it and it dripped on my pants. So that's where my concern is at the moment. Not necessarily what's in front of me. So, what do you think the most stolen car is?
Honda Civic.
Mustang.
Honda Civic is number 2. A 1998 Honda Civic. Mustang. Not on there. The number 1 car, 1994 Honda Accord. Number 2, 1998 Honda Civic. This is last year, 2011. The number 3 is the 2006 Ford F-150. Then we have the 1991 Toyota Camry. Then the 2000 Dodge Caravan, the 94 Acura, the 99 Chevy Silverado pickup, the 2004 Dodge Ram pickup, the 2002 Ford Explorer, and the 1994 Nissan. Now, I know you're saying, oh Brad, that's riveting information, but why the older vehicles? What do you guess?
And hot wire.
Bingo. Security, so all the newer vehicles now they have security, better tracking, and these older vehicles now, if you have an older car that's in good shape, a lot of these, if they're stolen, the older vehicles are taken away and dismantled immediately, and the used parts are sold. The newer vehicles, they're usually changing the identification numbers on them, and then they're just shipping them overseas, or they're changing the numbers and keeping them in the United States. Fraud, as an industry, I get fraud alerts all the time. And it's not, Medicare fraud last year alone was $80 billion. That's our government-run program, $80 billion in Medicare. So fraud is a big thing. If your car gets stolen, immediately they're going to question you. And I was going to say, I hope it did get stolen. That's not the point I was trying to make. I hope you're honest with what happened, because they will find out. But like I said, fraud is just a huge thing, even in homeowners right now. And you'll probably get more into that. Did you do homeowners yet?
That's our next one.
Next week?
Yep.
Come
We
on.
start it next week.
Okay. Homeowners fraud is another huge issue. Oh, we forgot to hand these off.
How do you commit, like, Medicare fraud or whatever?